My Lord, the guidelines expressly treat offences involving essential goods or services as particularly serious given their wider societal impact. The harm occasioned here extends beyond the loss of property to the frustration of government policy and erosion of community confidence. My Lord, the impact of this offence is profound. It strikes at the integrity of public administration and weakens public trust in leadership. When a person occupying such high-profile public office engages in corrupt conduct, it sends a damaging signal that undermines confidence in governance and the rule of law. The guidelines, my Lord, require this court to consider the broader impact of the offence on society and the administration of justice. And in this case, that impact is both significant and far-reaching.
So do we have a victim impact statement? Do we have a community impact statement as the sentencing guidelines say? Or do we just imagine that because of the loss or the diversion that the court has found happening, then automatically there was? Do we have anything like a victim or community impact statement? You don't have either. Okay.
But from the intention of the program, I know this court understand. My Lord, in light of these aggravating factors, the prosecution submits that the circumstances of this case call for a custodial sentence. My Lord, a fine, particularly one limited to a maximum of 3,200,000 shillings, would grossly be inadequate and would fail to meet the objectives of sentencing, including deterrence and the need to promote respect for the law. My Lord, this court was established to ensure the effective and expeditious adjudication of corruption cases, and the Anti-Corruption Act itself seeks to provide for effectual prevention of corruption in both the public and the private sector. My Lord, a clear and unequivocal message must therefore be sent that corruption does not pay and that those entrusted with public office, will be held to the highest standards of accountability. In particular, my Lord, this must be emphasized that leaders, including members of parliament and ministers, are not above the law. And where they engage in corrupt conduct, they must face consequences that reflect the seriousness of their action and the trust reposed in them by the public. Accordingly, my Lord, the prosecution humbly submits that a custodial sentence of 5 years imprisonment is appropriate and proportionate in the circumstances of this case and sufficient to meet the ends of justice. We further pray, Your Lordship, that this honorable court invokes the provisions of Section 46 of the Anti-Corruption Act and disqualifies the convict from holding public office for a period of 10 years from the date of conviction. Finally, my Lord, the prosecution invites this court to consider the appropriateness of a compensation or restitutional order in order to give effect to the restorative objectives of sentencing in light of the loss and prejudice occasioned to the intended beneficiaries of the diverted resources. We further pray that the 1,585 iron sheets that were recovered and verified by this court at CID headquarters on the 9th of August 2024 be fortified to the government of Uganda. We so pray. Prophetic, my God.
So we proceed to sit down and talk about the compensation order. Compensation order based on what? What are you proposing? Compensate based on what loss? The court must have an idea of who we are compensating, how, in terms of how much are we compensating. You understand what I'm saying? Especially in light of the fact that, as you referred to the activities of 9th August 2024, 1,585 iron sheets were recovered, and this court ordered that they be kept at the opium stores because in any case at that time ownership was not an issue. So iron sheets have been recovered. So you're asking me to compensate who for what? Could you shed some light? There's also the other evidence that was brought during the defense, a certain amount of money that was paid back to the office of the Prime Minister.
So I want an indication considering the recoveries, the compensation, the amounts that the accused has already paid back to government, vis-a-vis your prayer for a compensation order.
We are looking at the difference of the iron sheets that were not recovered. And that is to the government of Uganda.
And so the defense submission reply.
I'm seeking review of the court for the body to speak fast and we should come with us.
Leave is good.
Much obliged.
There's nothing wrong with that. You want to address the court? The last time I gave the opportunity to defend yourself, we were in court for so many months. So I want to guide. Please be succinct on what it is you want to say.
Court in respect of the sentence, okay? Please proceed, Dr. Speaker.
I'm the first time offender. And on such grounds, I would request this honorable court to have lenience on me. As you are aware, Lord, You know the history of my health. I have been in and out of hospital while in court, and up to date, my health is not okay. I'm still in and out of hospital. Even the situation of having blood clots in my lungs. It's a situation that makes me collapse at any time. And I'm a mother of young school-going children. For that, I'm a single mother of young school-going children. And I'm the only able person in the family to win bread for both my family, biological family, the children, orphans that have been left for me from my siblings, and my ailing mother who is about 80 years suffering from infection. And this situation I'm the only child remaining now. This situation of in and out of hospital, in and out of court, really stressed my family, and my father died at that moment. So I'm remaining with my ailing mother, who is also not okay. To government, I would like to say I am apologetic to the appointing authority of the people interested in this position to serve government. Whatever happened, I'm sorry. To the people of Karamoja, who were intended to receive these airships, I'm apologetic, I'm sorry. And to the entire country. Something that I was misled into, and I have been informed, not being doing my work as I'm supposed to do. I am sorry. The airships that I received, after finding out that they were intended for the people of Karamoja Road, I willingly returned them. I willingly told police that I have them, and willingly returned them. And also, additional, those ones that I don't know how those ones that were missing, right from my farm, and also even those ones that were lost from police custody, I paid all of them in cash to government. Lord, I would ask this prayer, Lord, that I have favor for you, my Lord. You said this that attracts 7 years in prison, 160 points, or both. I would request this court, Honorable Court, Lord, to give me a non-custodial sentence for me, to allow me to take care of my family. He's very young and I'm their own breadwinner. As I told you, I'm a single mother of 7 children. That's other independence. Once again, Lord, I'm apologetic.
Counsel for the accused, did you have something to add? Interlocutors, please proceed.
What comes out of the only
sign of remorsefulness. And to the defense, she has lied. My Lord, the iron sheets which gave rise to this offense were returned. Even the balance was paid for as per Defense Exhibit 2 and 3. What was not paid, my Lord, were the iron sheets in the transit between the convict's farm and the police stores. And my Lord, that order of compensation should not be visited on the convict, because the state evidence, particularly the investigations officers, confirmed that they carried the images from the farm to the stores of police. And my Lord, to be specific,
So that loss cannot be attributed.
it should not be attributed to the convict, my Lord.
What did the convict pay?
Was it not, remind me the figures that were recovered from the farm. I thought the payment to government covered the entire difference. Are we able to tell that this payment that was made covered this number of iron sheets in terms of quantity? So that then I can guide. It is okay. Please consult your client.
My Lord, the clarification has been made.
Yes.
She says even those ones which was alleged to have been lost in the transport. And the farm, and those ones which 44 were missing were also paid.
That's why I asked the question.
Yes, my Lord.
Because I believe the compensation, the money that was paid should have been
Covering the difference
Yes,
of
my
the
Lord.
iron sheets as per the police search records and what they got. That means if others got lost subsequently, still she has covered that.
My Lord, the clarification has been made. It was, payment was made as per Exhibit T, D2 and D3.
Okay.
My Lord, the submission by the state about the aggravating factors as per the guidelines, the convict, the mitigating factors has brought it out as against what the state has said. My Lord, we invite you to weigh the mitigating factors by the convict defense against the aggravating factors by the prosecution. My Lord, this case attracts a fine as first option or imprisonment of 7 years, default, or both. My Lord, we invite the court.
What is your interpretation of first option from?
Get that from?
The
reading of section 21.
Yes.
All right.
Lord, I'm reading it, it says,
The way you're reading it, what does it say?
any person who deals with property that she or she lives or has reason to believe was acquired as a result of an offense and decide to miss an offense and the conviction to a fine not exceeding 60 currency points.
Because it was placed first.
Placed first, my Lord. That's how I'm looking at it. My Lord, we invite court to exercise the first option of the fine. And my Lord, we invite court to also consider the case of Abigail Kosolwana Funiwe versus Uganda. My Lord, is a Court of Appeal, Criminal Appeal number 390 of 2017.
What does it say?
My Lord, in this case, at page 7 of the judgment, the court said that in cases where there is option of a fine and imprisonment, the option of a fine should be exercised first. And more so in cases involving a person who is the first offender. My Lord, this case applies in the circumstances of the facts before you. The convict is the first offender, and that the provision provides for an option of a fine.
I'm curious. What
The facts of that matter? Of course, you will provide me with a copy of it. As I take time to go and prepare my ruling, I'll look at it. But if you can draw the parity in terms of, that's the principle that was espoused.
Yes, my Lord.
So when you say it applies to this case, can you tell me why? Are the facts related? Are the arguments?
My Lord, the facts are not the same. The facts are not the same. I'm only looking at the principle.
you're only looking at it?
Yes, my Lord. The facts are not the same.
So what you're asking me to do?
To apply that law to these particular facts.
Yes.
So when you said it is similar to this case, then I expect that you're going to draw some kind of parity in terms of the circumstances of the crime and how it was committed and all that. That's why I was asking you. now that you've clarified, let's say this is the principle you're asking me to apply. That's all.
Sorry, madam.
It seems we are speaking at cross purposes. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. What I was saying is, when you made a submission and said, the facts, you said Abigail versus Uganda, this is the principle espoused by the justices of the Court of Appeal in this case, and then you said I should apply it, it is similar. Immediately when you say that, I'm looking for facts of that case of Abigail that make that principle similar, or maybe circumstances of the case. What's the similarity? We could be dealing with a case of theft of a chicken that went here.
The similarity here is being the first offender.
The similarity is the first offender.
Oh, yes.
Okay, all right. Okay.
My lord, finally,
You want to see it? There is no facility. Please continue, Council Nanda.
my lord, as the convict has already stated, I just wanted to draw attention to the court in respect of exhibit P12. PX12. My lord, when you look at that exhibit P12, so many leaders, my lord, receive their issues in the same manner.
I thought you were reopening
No, I'm not.
the question of the laws, the facts upon which the conviction.
No, I'm only mentioning.
So, as per PX12,
Yes.
the recipients of the iron sheets were many.
Well, many.
Okay.
Actually, my lord, there are about 190.
Okay.
So, my lord, we invite court to look at the circumstances and make a finding that several of them were also misled in the manner the convict was also misled. My Lord, we pray that we consider all the factors and give the non-custodial sentence to the convict as sufficient punishment. My Lord, it's not true that the 160 carries points is inadequate. It's not correct. Because, my Lord, if you say that the 160 carries points is inadequate, my Lord, then we are going against the law which prescribed it. That is the law, my Lord. And the law deemed it sufficient. That's why it is there. My Lord, we pray that you be inclined with the mitigating factors and give the convict non-custodial sentence. We humbly pray.
Counsel for the state, do you have any submissions in rejoinder? And while you make your submissions in rejoinder, you made in your initial remarks to this court the statement that in your view a 5-year sentence would be proper.
I'm curious to know what guides your submission, your decision on the fact that you think 5 years is sufficient. Is it because you have considered sentencing ranges? Is it because there are decisions that you're pointing me to say, in cases of this nature, this has been the practice? So give me a reason to understand why you have arrived at, or you have proposed 5-year sentence. Okay?
Most important, my lord.
Please proceed.
First of all, as a well background, paragraph 56 enjoins us to indicate, paragraph 56 of the sentencing guidelines enjoins us to indicate to the court the sentence which, to the opinion of the prosecution, is appropriate for the offense. Now, these guidelines, although they have mentioned some corruption offenses, they didn't specifically deal with
suspect property.
Yes, but they dealt with some like, if I'll take you, my lord, to part 6, part 6, which has paragraph 41, they talk about sentencing range for corruption and corruption-related offenses. And the nearest we could look at is the last one of abuse of office, which is 6, which has a maximum sentence of 7 years in prison. I know the starting point there is 3.5 years, and the sentencing range says from 1 year up to 7 years in prison. My lord, we've not had, I believe this is the first conviction in a matter of this offense of taking suspect property in Uganda. So we've not had a wealth of precedents to look at. We tried to look at our neighbors in Kenya, but we couldn't be told so. But my lord, cases like the case of Uganda versus Ramapajini, which was one of the corruption cases where I admit they had not charged him with suspect property, but those public officials were given between 5 to 7 years. So, my lord, our coming to 5 years, we looked at some of those issues and also the aggravating factors which were already mentioned. Yes. But I want to start from the point where my colleague said about PEX-12 and other public officials or ministers and MPs who are mentioned. But the criminal responsibility is individual. The case we are looking at right now is against Honorable Agnes Nandutu. So it is really irrelevant to talk about other public officials and to try to usurp the powers of the DPP who instituted this case, because right now we only have Honorable Nandutu who has been convicted in this court. So we pray that court looks mainly at the aggravating factors and the mitigating factor. But also more importantly, my lord, we don't want, my colleague mentioned a case which I have not looked at, but I believe it is the discretion of this court to decide whether it's a fine or a term of imprisonment or both. He cannot press it on court that, yes, court has to look at both the aggravating factors and the mitigating factors. And my lord, when you look at the mitigating factors, which they are supposed to bring before you under paragraph 44 of the sentencing guidelines, apart from E, which talks about refund of money or items misappropriated, none of the issues they've talked about falls under this mitigating factor. Whether it's her personal issues about health, her personal responsibilities, it was not envisaged as part of the mitigating factors in corruption or related offenses under paragraph 44.
Okay.
My lord,
About the health issue, yes, we've said that she has been sick, but as we speak currently, she's supposed to show us evidence, not just by word of mouth. They're supposed to bring medical evidence, which also shows that prison cannot manage her condition in the event that she's taken there. They've not produced any of that. My lord, I also want to submit on the issue of return. The convict did not willingly return iron sheets. She did not wake up one morning and say, you know what, I was misled, let me return these iron sheets back to OPM. No. Police intervened, she was questioned, and led to the recovery of the exhibits. That's not willful return. And I don't want us to be caught in that misconception. My lord, lastly, the issue of the compensation. I remember I saw a receipt which she brought in her defense, but unfortunately, we've not verified. Apart from what she's telling us, I would really request for every time to also consult and know what exactly she paid for. Because if she's saying she paid for, we've had differences. What was recorded at the scene, what we verified in Chivoli, and at what point did she pay? So, if she says, we would have no objection if she paid the difference of what police officials say had been missing. That would, but apart from having that receipt here, we did not verify. Because one, I think they gave us a photocopy, but we need time to verify and know exactly what she paid for before we make our final announcement on that.
however, we reiterate all our earlier that we by money court.
All right. Thank you for your submissions, both counsel for the state and counsel for the defense. I've also carefully heard the submissions that have been made by the convict. I need some few hours to consider your submissions and prepare my written ruling, which I will deliver at 3 p.m. Counsel for the state, if you have any issue pertaining to the receipt for payments, I know they were tendered during the evidence of I know they were tendered into court during the evidence of the accused, and because she opted not to swear, you could not cross-examine on it. So, but still, I would have expected you to come prepared, because the aspect of payment certainly would affect proceedings of the nature that we are holding now. So if you want to address me, you will do that. just before, and then I will determine whether it affects my decision or not. So allow me to return with my ruling at 3 p.m.
NBS happening now.
Certification and quality assurance, and establishes mechanisms for credit accumulation and transfer, enhances the comparability of qualifications at regional and international levels, and provides for future integration into the national qualifications framework. Chair and members, under Section 4 of the Issues Higher Education Students Financing Scheme, the NPS proposes supporting 4,400 degree and 500 diploma students. The issue was the way forward was required regarding funding to have more students funded under the scheme. And in response, under the ministry...
So what you are going to do, you'll be summarizing.
Okay.
We wanted the other obstacle because the other repurposing, because it was a major issue that was raising a lot of eyebrows. But it is me who was giving you the microphone, and I'm looking at you.
Much obliged, Chair. We are under your direction.
Because I didn't hear anything from that corner, so go ahead.
Much obliged, Chair. So under the higher education loan scheme, in the next financial year, as you have requested in summary, Chair, an additional 10 billion shillings has been committed by government, although additional funding will be required to support additional intakes. On page 10, Chair, the committee requested for an update on the actual performance for the previous fiscal year 24-25 and the half year, and this performance is laid out in the response. Similarly, the committee wanted to see the trend of students who have benefited from the scheme from its initiation to date. And in response, over the 12 years of its existence, the committee has supported a total of 18,501 beneficiaries. And within that is 179 persons with disabilities. The details are in the table, Chair members. The committee further sought confirmation that district quota allocations and means testing are being implemented as per the amended Act. And this is affirmative that it is being done. The commissioner in charge of the scheme is available to provide additional support, Chair members. On page 12, the committee requested for an explanation of scheme funding adequacy and sustainability for the next fiscal year target. And the ministry notes that there are increasing number of applications, both new cohort and joining as first years and continuing students. Although the additional 10 billion has already been highlighted, which brings the total budget to 33.48 billion. I'm skimming through, Chair, as requested. I'm on page 14. This will help the ministry support 3,000 new beneficiaries annually. It is expected with this budget that at least 50% of all eligible applicants will be supported under the scheme. Chair and members, we are not at 100% with the budget of 33 billion. The committee sought an update on recoveries of funds from students that have completed university and are now employed. Just to highlight that the total recoveries to date is 2.412 billion out of the 141.88 billion already spent. Chair and members, under the fifth cluster were teacher recruitment and wage bill issues. Number one, this committee sought an update on recruitment targets for the fiscal year 2026-27, noting that the MPS had 3,000 teachers as a target and the distribution between science and arts. The ministry plans to recruit 1,158 arts teachers, 832 at education officer level and 326 at assistant educational level, and 1,842 science teachers, also as highlighted. The total is the 3,000.
Page 15.
Page 15, the committee sought clarity on how salaries for primary teachers, secondary arts teachers, and TVET tutors will be enhanced and how this has been factored into the wage bill for the next year, for how many teachers and at what salary bands categories.
So you have to emphasize that also. You can read the verbatim.
The Ministry of Public Service has the mandate to determine the salary enhancement. However, the approximated number of teachers to benefit from the 553 billion already highlighted are as highlighted. Number one, head teachers and principals in category U1E, a total of 1,097. Deputy head teachers and deputy principals in category U2, salary band U2, 1,057. Secondary teachers and tutors in salary band U5 and U4, a total of 21,975. Primary teachers, head teachers at salary level U4, 8,226. Deputy head teachers in U5 scale, 6,978. Senior education assistants in salary scale U6, 11,293. And education assistants in U7, 105,781. Chair and members, the committee also sought the status of wage challenges affecting the Uganda Intergovernmental Fiscal Transfers Phase 2 teachers' salaries, those who have not been deployed under U-Gift schools, where 13.28 billion as a supplementary was required in 26 districts. And the Ministry of Finance provided these funds directly to the local governments to recruit staff in the seed schools. However, there have been some complaints from additional 34 local governments. And another supplementary request has been made to the same Ministry of Finance. On page 16, under cluster number 6, curriculum development and implementation, the committee sought an update on the rollout and teacher training, retooling for the new O-level and A-level curricula, catering for the 12,593 teachers trained by half year of the current fiscal year. And Chair and members, this has been highlighted in the response. Further, the committee sought an update on the review of the primary curriculum, that is primary 1 to primary 3 by the National Curriculum Development Center, including timeline and resource requirements. And the response is provided that the primary curriculum is not aligned to the lower secondary curriculum in terms of design. However, the National Curriculum Development Center has already developed the draft syllabi for learning areas for lower primary. They have been quality assured and the comments are being acted upon in preparation for submission.
Page 18.
Thank you, Chair. On page 18, Chair, the committee sought a progress update on implementation of competence-based curriculum across primary, secondary, TVET, and higher education. And the program is highlighted.
This next.
Thank you, Chair. I will request the committee to turn to page 20. Under sports infrastructure, progress was requested on Akibua Stadium development, and this one is ongoing, expected to be complete before the end of this calendar year. A breakdown for the 2026-27 allocation for Mandela National Stadium and Makerere University training grounds. Just to confirm that there is only provision for Mandela National Stadium next year because the funds for Makerere University training grounds have all been expensed in the current fiscal year. Further, the committee sought an explanation on the decrease in GAU development funding to National Council of Sports by 167.39 billion. And the issue was that the initial provisions were to cater for the development of Hoima City Stadium, which has been accomplished. So this issue could perhaps also better be addressed by the Ministry of Finance, Honorable Chair and Committee. Number 8, under Busoga and University's establishment, the committee sought progress update on renovation of Busoga University main campus in Iganga, which is at 75% completion, and the timelines to operationalize. Chair and members, this response has been provided, but also the committee, the task force team is in the house to support.
So that one requires emphasis. Can you emphasize that?
Thank you, Chair. In response, the critical construction works at Iganga main campus leading to establishment of Busoga University are complete and awaits handover. Furthermore, stakeholder consultation has been conducted on the alignment of critical programs with competence-based curriculum for submission to the National Council for Higher Education.
The National Council has completed. So, Honorable Minister, that is now in your court.
Chair and members, the committee further sought a status update on Bunyoro University, where the MPS had reported that architectural drawings had been approved and when contracting and construction will commence. The ministry has initiated the procurement process for contractors, for which the Uganda People's Defence Force Engineering Brigade and the National Enterprise Corporation have been invited to submit bids, which are expected by the end of April 2026. Once the procurement is concluded, site will be handed over to the contractor before the end of May 2026. Notwithstanding the above progress, the task force has highlighted inadequate funding as one of its core challenges. The committee further requested for an explanation on the missing Uganda shillings 20 billion presidential pledge to the Karamoja Peace and Technology University in the fiscal year 26-27 budget. In reply, the government recognizes the requirements of the Karamoja Peace and Technology University. A provision of 10 billion shillings was allocated for the institution in the fiscal year 2025-26 budget, and I may add on the basis of the presidential pledge. The ministry awaits further guidance on this matter. Number 9 concerns on the local government education grants, which go on to page 22. Number 1 was the utilization of the school facilities grant, commonly known as SFG, Uganda shillings 41.46 billion, and the transitional development grant, 7.27 billion shillings for the fiscal year 24-25. The committee noted no outputs in the NPS report. But we, in response, highlight that the utilization of the school facilities grant and transitional development grant are submitted through the budgeting system to the Ministry of Education, and I dare add by the beneficiary local governments. Chair and members, we will seek this information from Finance and Audit. The committee also sought measures to ensure that reports on local government education expenditure are submitted to Ministry of Education and Sports, currently only submitted to the Ministry of Finance. And in response, the local governments have also been requested through the grant guidelines to provide this information to the Ministry of Education and Sports. It's compliance that needs to be perhaps enhanced. The committee sought the criteria and funding for construction of teachers' houses at a unit cost of 272 per 2-unit house. And the construction is guided by standard designs developed by the construction management unit of the ministry. The The approved unit cost is Uganda shillings 138 million per house at the secondary education level and 108 million per house at the primary education level. May we there add, Chair, that these are also affected by inflation and other changes in the macros. The committee also sought an update on parishes without government primary schools and sub-counties without government secondary schools, and the plan of the ministry in closing this gap over the medium term and in the next fiscal year. Overall, 10,716 parishes and 2,190 sub-counties. Out of the 10,716 parishes, 3,486 parishes do not have a public-private school. And out of the 2,190 sub-counties, 904 are still without a public secondary school. There is ongoing continuous engagement between this ministry and the Ministry of Finance to provide funding to cater for both grant aiding of the schools in the parishes and sub-counties without a public school. The committee sought the ministry's plan regarding implementation of free UPE and USE. The ministry has already highlighted the funding constraint of 309.16 billion to cater for this requirement, and there is ongoing consultation and engagement. Under Cluster 10, chairperson and members, the committee sought updates on policies that are not yet concluded. Regarding the National Curriculum Development Assessment and Placement Policy, there is a final draft version which is ready for top management's consideration. The same applies to the Universal Primary and Secondary Education Policy. Regarding the Higher Education Policy, the draft policy was submitted to the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for a certificate of financial clearance, and this draft is also ready for further consideration. The National Private Education and Training Policy, the draft is ready for a national validation workshop to obtain final input from stakeholders, and this workshop is planned for the current month. On page 24, chairperson and members, regarding the National Admissions and Scholarship Policy, this is part of the higher education policy already discussed. Regarding the regulations for the TVET Act, so far, 4 regulations have been drafted and approved by top management. These have been forwarded to the Solicitor General for review and clearance so that they can be gazetted. Regarding the school feeding policy, we request a small amendment, school feeding policy. And this is also at a draft stage, awaiting top management approval. Regarding the review of the Education Act 2008, the amendment is awaiting approval of the Universal Compulsory Primary and Secondary Education Policy already highlighted. Regarding the University and Other Tertiary Institutions Act, this also awaits the National Higher Education Policy already highlighted. On page 25, regarding the National Qualifications Framework, this has already been highlighted, that the draft framework is ready for top management to consider. Regarding regulations to various laws in the sub-program that have been enacted, specifically the national sports regulations were prepared and are in place. A committee was set up to develop regulations to operationalize other provisions of the law and is currently undertaking this assignment. Honorable Chairperson and members, I submit to the PS. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, honorable members, we have given them adequate time because today there is only one entity appearing before us. There is where you talked about a coordinator or either manager or USIP. Can we get them also brief us briefly? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I rarely raise procedural issues. In the first place, I want to apologize for coming in late. I'm still massaging my foot.
Nobody saw you. You came in time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I just wanted to find out what's the procedure right for the ministry to submit documents which are not owned. There's a document here from the Tibet Council. As the committee, we have a lot of interest in this and want to see this council taking off. This annex is not signed. It's not owned, Honorable Chair. At least mine is not. Then, secondly, Honorable Chair and members, I don't know whether you had already mentioned about this. I feel comfortable, and I believe with other members, when our Honorable Minister, greetings, Honorable Minister, it has been a while, and the PS, when they come for this committee, without proper support or representation or follow-up team by the commissioners, heads of departments. Our rules of procedure, Rule 197.
Honorable John, that matter was raised and an answer was given. So now you're reporting yourself that you came.
So that's why I was apologizing that I came in late.
So that one we can. It was raised and we sought for.
A little bit of re-echoing, Honorable Chair. It's okay with you, you can proceed.
Go ahead, but now we are constrained. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. We have a number of departments, and when you look at the rules of procedure of Parliament, Rule 197, and you look at the functions of the sectoral committees, 197A, this committee has an important function of examining and commenting on policy matters affecting the ministry covered by this sectoral committee. B, to initiate or evaluate action programs of the ministry and the sector, and to make appropriate recommendations on the action programs. And most important at this time, D, to examine government recurrent and capital budget estimates and make recommendations on them for general debate, finally, in the House. So the reason why I was raising that procedural matter is that if the heads of department are there, are not in this committee, and in my understanding, they are very key when these other agencies, as we have been meeting them, are implementing the policies of the ministry. Even if these commissioners are represented, I don't think the implementation of those policies will be effectively done. The minister will have done his work effectively, the PS will do the work, but I think there will be a gap in the final implementation.
Honorable Tamhira, you are now driving us backwards. The minister says he is going to crack. It was mentioned loud and clear before you came. That matter was so can we...
Mr. Chairman, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The records have captured.
No, Chair, let's be on record, Chair, because we are the custodians of these rules, and you are the Chair. Chair, when you read the Constitution, Article 164, matters of accountability, I want to read just Roman 1, that the permanent secretary or the accounting officer in charge of a ministry or a department. So matters of accountability you cannot delegate, Chair. You cannot get money and spend. When it comes to account, you just run away.
The PS was here, unless you are saying...
The head of the department, the heads of department, who are the commissioners my colleague is talking about. So I just want the Chair that we put it on record that this is not fair, both on our side and even on your side. Yeah. If you are an accounting officer, appear. If you are the head of a department, appear. But standing in and standing out, I don't know.
So that's the concern, Honourable Minister, that members are raising. And I told them, actually I told you this is not a casual meeting. It was mentioned. The Minister told me and told the meeting that he's going to crack the whip. So now members, now let's start. Let's start with the reactions, the issues that were raised have been answered. And before that one, maybe there's ULAN, UGIFT, USIP, and TVET. Can we hear, because you told me they're in the House, the statements we're giving, can I say we're just sweeping? So let's hear from the real horse's mouth. So can we hear from ULAN? Give ULAN a microphone. So TVET, give ULAN a microphone. Okay, there's one there.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, the presentation of ULAN was attached, but I want to emphasize on a few issues that was raised by the committee. The committee specifically questioned the 72 schools that appeared in the BFP, now the MPS,
yes,
and then the 121. Chairman, the chairperson, the results framework of the program, of ULAN program, maps phase 1 as 72 and phase 2 as 49. But ultimately, the selection of schools will be guided primarily.
So ULAN is this document, honorable members?
Will be guided primarily by compliance with the land ownership requirement, honorable Chair. There's a key issue in the ULAN program now. So far, only 14 schools qualify. And the requirement is that the land title should be in the name of the school, and the purpose for which that land title is should be for institutional development. And of the 121, only 14 schools qualify. And we have a list of the schools we have come with.
Is Pong Duong, does it have the land title Pong Duong?
Pong Duong actually is among those that qualify.
They qualify?
Yeah, Sir Samuel Becker.
So I'm raising a concern as a citizen. Pong Duong has been run down. It has a lot of land, infrastructure. It has a population of less than 50 students. That is unimaginable.
Honorable Chair, we have a submission that was made by the Minister to Minister of Finance requesting for a waiver for all ULAN schools, given that they are traditional schools, and therefore we are waiting for a response from Minister of Finance. If we could get a waiver, then all the schools will qualify. But as for now, only 14 meets the criteria.
Taken further. Now, honorable visitors and honorable members, fasting ended the other week, so there is tea and well, we can have a working tea. You silently move in and then bam. Yes?
Yes. Yeah, Honorable Chair, the preliminary activities are ongoing, despite the fact that all the schools are not qualified. All of them are being assessed at the same time. All the 121 traditional schools are being assessed, and we are getting ready. Just in case we get the waiver, then the implementation will be for all.
Thank you. That is ULAN.
ULAN.
Mr.
Next
Chairman,
is Yusuf.
Chair, clarification.
Okay, clarification for ULAN.
Yes, can we have a list of the schools you're talking about?
Yeah, we want 14. Them.
Yes, we came with it.
Where is the list?
We came with the list.
Let's have a list. The list is not attached on your presentation.
Please circulate that list silently. ULAN.
Thank you very much, Chair and honorable members. Regarding USIP, the comment raised was about performance.
It's better you introduce yourselves, even if you did. ULAN, what is the name again?
Sorry, Chair, my name is Patrick Apecho.
Apecho Patrick.
Yes, sir.
ULAN.
ULAN.
And then Yusuf. Kashahu.
Chair, Brenda Cassia.
Okay.
Thank you very much. In terms of performance, Chair and honorable members, we have received 62.6 million.
Where is our document? Where is it? Okay. Annex 3. Go ahead.
So, Chair and members, of the $150 million US, we've received a disbursement of $62.6 million. Of that, we have spent $23.3 million. Chair, as you know, USIP is heavily civil works related. In terms of civil works progress, we have 32 schools out of the 90 new schools that are already up and under construction. The Solicitor General last week, at the end of the week, cleared 16 sites that we're expecting to hand over before the end of this month. We have 24 sites that are also under the Solicitor General review that we expect to also hand over at the end of this month. And then 14 sites are under the bidding process. So, Chair, we hope that by the end of May, we shall have all our 90 sites under construction. And this will definitely uplift our performance in terms of budgets. And then for expansion, the 52 schools, Chair, like we mentioned previously, we have adopted the community demand-driven procurement, where we are actually enabling the schools which are in existence to construct these schools. So right now, we have supported them to formulate committees for procurement, and the bidding process is ongoing. So, Chair, we hope that with these interventions, our disbursements will increase, but also performance in terms of expenditure. Thank you.
Our list?
Chair, the list is available and
Please.
it can be circulated.
Let the list be there.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, John?
Chair.
No, it's okay, Honorable Chair. Actually, my interest was on the list.
Yes.
No, Chair.
I want the list.
Okay.
Chair, in addition to what my colleague is saying, you see, when you say construction of 90 new schools and expansion of 52 existing schools, even apart from the list, we also need to know the location. Where are they?
Yeah, I'm sure the list has where they are located, which districts. And
Chair, the list has the name of the school, the location, and the status of implementation.
We don't have the list. We are only seeing where is the list.
she says she's bringing.
Chair, the list is going to be circulated.
Please do.
Thank you. Yes,
The
in this
list
meeting.
is in the house, so like the other one was. It's coming.
Yes, Chair, during this meeting. Thank you.
Next.
Chairman, you are rushing.
Honorable Itungo.
Chair,
we complained about a given document it came. It is within there.
You see,
you can put your emphasis, but according to what I saw, this.
See, Mr. Chairman, we cannot react, we cannot respond if we don't have the lists. At the time of reaction, we shall have no words. If the lists are there, let them provide.
Kasha, is the list there? Say yes or no. Where is it?
Sorry, Chair, Madam Brenda should bring the list.
Chair, may I also remind you people that that list has been with you for quite a long time. These lists were approved long ago.
For you, okay. Yeah.
Okay, she's laying one copy and then they bring the other.
Chair, I also propose, Honorable Chair, that if they have a list in soft form,
that's what she's telling me.
They can circulate, they give the clerk a copy and they put it on our group.
Okay.
You want physical now?
That's what she has said. Next. Tivet. Now you give it first.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Derek Namisi, Principal Economist. I apologize, we have not yet printed the list, but before the end of the meeting.
Which list?
The list of the 259 seed schools.
Egypt?
Yes, but we are sending someone to go and print. We do not have a physical copy, but we have Annex 1 giving a highlight of the components.
But do you remember that when we had the BFP?
Yes.
It was the afternoon, and I was doubting that it won't be there. Was I wrong? Yeah, you said the list is coming in the afternoon, and today...
Yeah, we kept liaising with the clerk.
The liaising, either the word is list, not liaising.
Yeah, Chair, the list is there. And
it's now 2 months and the liaising.
Who is the commissioner in charge of lists?
So,
yes, Chair. So I was requesting to just go through a highlight of the progress so far.
Just go through, but the list is required today.
Okay.
Because last time you told us afternoon, and the afternoon is liaising instead.
Chair, for YouGift, we have several components. Just to inform the committee that YouGift, also known as YouGift 1.0, ended in December 2025, and we are just finalizing the civil works to negotiate for YouGift 2.0. Under YouGift 1.0, one of the core objectives, the program sought to construct and equip and operationalize 259 seed schools in sub-counties that previously lacked such facilities. To date, 210 seed schools have been completed and are operational, while the remaining 49 are expected to be handed over by the closure of the financial year. The main reason why most of these 49 are lagging behind is financial, and a supplementary budget of 70 billion was provided by the Ministry of Finance in Q2, and subsequently half of that money has been released, so civil works are ongoing. Chair, we also had a component of recruitment. To date, 7,565 teachers and 525 support staff have been recruited and deployed to support operations of the newly established government and granted seed secondary schools. We also had a recruitment for primary schools where 1,589 primary school teachers were recruited by local governments, which are categorized as least staffed. We also have a component where we are increasing capitation grants for primary and secondary schools, the name of transfers. That's where we draw the name. Prior to implementation of the YouGift program, the unit costs for capitation were low. Since 2018-19, the capitation
grants... So what you do,
yes.
Just tell us the figures. What is current?
Yes.
Yeah, because people have been asking that unit cost of capitation.
Yeah. Chair, then we have the issue of, we also supported the inspection. Before YouGift started, the unit cost was below 336 per school, but this was achieved with an additional 7.568 billion. Chair, on page 2, we have the teller system, the rollout of teller across all schools, and this has been implemented, making the head teacher the first person of inspection in a school across all government schools.
Does that teller system see the science teachers? Has it been seeing them?
It has, Chair.
They are the most teachers who are presenting themselves. So if it has a blind eye on science teachers and it goes to only arts, that's the observation which is everywhere.
Yeah. Then, Chair, we also have rollout of e-inspection. This was also something supported by YouGift, real-time inspection, which was rolled out, and we procured a total of 800 tablets for both central and local governments for all inspectors. And finally, we had the transitioning of 51 primary schools under refugee hosting local governments. A total of 674 teachers were recruited and deployed in these schools, and also capitation grants are being provided under these schools. Chair, I beg to submit, but let me coordinate the provision of the list.
The list is required this afternoon.
Okay, Chair.
Tivet.
Thank you so much, Chair. My name is Winston
Remember, let's be holding, then we shall respond at once.
I'm a senior manager in charge of accreditation, and I'm here representing the ED, who only saw the invitation when he was already abroad on international engagement. Chair, I'm going to, in the interest of time, go to page 2 of our submission. Page 3, we have a table showing the implementation progress. Some of the highlights have been made, so I'll be quick on this. Under number 1, Chair, the council has been established. One, thank you so much, and Honorable Minister. But so far, in terms of staffing, out of the 152 expected staff in the structure approved, I will only have 10%, about 15 staff of the Secretariat. Chair, in terms of activity regarding registration and licensing, as well as accreditation of TVET providers in the country, we received 239 outstanding applications from the Ministry of Education. Out of those, 171 had confirmed payment of the inspection fees, And so far, 76 have been inspected in a span of about 1 month since we started in Feb. Under number 3, the development of the regulations to guide the reform, our Chair has already highlighted, 4 of them have been developed, and so far as I talk, 3 are ongoing, and the rest will be developed in the due course out of the expected 15. Number 4, in terms of the qualifications framework, Chair, this has also been already highlighted, but the draft is ready with 10 sections showing a transition from pre-vocational to PhD level. Number 5, the sector experts committees. Chair, these are committees which will be helping us to link with the world of work, the employers, to ensure that the curricula are aligned to the demands of the employers. There will be 6 in number. Just to summarize that out of the 6 so far, the formation process is rather lengthy and very much interactive and engaging with the employers to make sure that we get these committees as composed as are required to make sure they are relevant and efficient. Out of the 6 expected, so far we have formed 3 which are due for appointment, and we think they will resume the work very soon to support the efforts of curriculum development. Chair, on page 4, regarding standards, we have developed already the human resource recruitment standards for the TVET institutions to enhance the recruitment of quality trainers in these institutions and also streamline the management of these institutions. And they were circulated earlier, consultations were conducted, and they will be released and published once they are approved. Under number 7, strengthening stakeholder engagement. Chair, we've conducted a number of engagements. I'll not go through all those, but so far a number have been done. In terms of policies for internal operations and governance, Chair, we have a human resource management manual, the finance manual, and a number of other policies which have been drafted, and some already have been approved by our council.
Procedure, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we are reading a document, but it is as if the information is giving us is not in the document. For example, number 5, establish a sector skills expert committees. You are saying you have made 60, so far 3 are there. The information is not in the document. Who are you getting it from?
Chair, thank you so much, and thank you so much, Honorable Member. I'm only giving some more information, but we summarized our report because we are advised to send a summary to the ministry. I'm sorry for that.
So what do we take now?
But we can provide the detail if required.
Just bring the detail by close of the day.
It's okay. Thank you, Chair. So
you run through very fast because we are calling Winyoro University, Soga University.
Mr. Chairman, yesterday we met these examination bodies, and one of the challenges was about curriculum development, and they're saying they cannot proceed without these committees. It is one of the challenges they highlighted here. So if you come and tell the committee that so far you have 3 committees which are ready, and the examination bodies are saying no, what do we take now, Chair, in our report?
And the Honorable Minister, yesterday we said that the TVET Council or TVET Secretariat has the council members for purposes of them knowing what happens here. Like the one of UPAB board escorted there. So even the TVET Council should not be in the sky. They must be here. Because this is just a secretariat, but the TVET Council. It would be very proper because the secretariat will tell us their challenges, but when the policymakers are not there, it's also a bit not proper.
Chair, I think you are right. But these people did not know that they were needed here. Otherwise, next time we come back, we shall come along with them.
I think that should be the way. It is better. Because yesterday when the board of UPAB was here, he appreciated what goes on here and we move in tandem. So don't... no, now, for purposes of him, who was delegated, there's a saying in the local language I want to speak, that whoever a messenger is not short at, so please conclude.
Thank you so much, Chair.
For his boss. So.
And I've taken note of the communication and I'll take the message back. Thank you for allowing me to proceed, Chair. And
so you go to page 5 of 6 on figures.
Thank you so much, Chair. On page 5 under 1.4, the financial updates. Chair, we allocated a budget under 2025-2026 financial year of 12.6 billion, but which then reduced to 10 billion. It's some kind of background that I will not elaborate here. But to sum it all so far, we have received 1 billion, which hit our account on the 27th of March this year. We've been able to use part of that 1 billion.
1 billion out of 10?
Out of the 10, to do the inspections and also support the operations of the Secretariat. And we expect that we shall get further support from you, Chair, and the committee here. But we want to thank everybody for trying to assist us. Chair,
so that
allow me to...
is in the current financial year?
I beg your pardon, Chair?
The 10 billion.
The 10 billion was meant for the current financial year, Chair, but we've only received
and
one.
You have 9 to go.
And it came on the 27th of March.
So yes, maybe you have to increase in the years there, 1 billion versus 10.
Chair, I can elaborate on that on page 6. The key challenges that we're facing, indeed, financing is number one. And of course, working with a shortfall of 9 billion, Chair, it has impeded our progress significantly. But we've tried to work with what we have. Staff limitation is as a result also of the financing. Chair, we made adverts for the positions given the approved structure, but we could not confidently go ahead with the recruitment because of the limitation of finances. Chair, we are hosted by UVTAP and we appreciate them. They are not in the house here. But the space is limiting in such a way that we cannot expand the size of the Secretariat to the capacity we need because of the space being a limitation.
So
and Chair, finally, I would like to appreciate the PS in the House here and the Ministry of Education, as well as the assessment boards for supporting us on challenge number 4, which is transportation. We've been using vehicles from the sources I've just mentioned, but they also have activities which are ongoing and which cannot be hindered forever. So they assist us, but on a temporary basis of 1 week, not more than 1.5 weeks. So we are limited, and Chair, we shall continuously seek your guidance and support in the budget.
Thank you very so much. Bunyoro University.
I would request that we briefly talk about the Tibet Council, so that when we go to other reactions, we don't repeat the matter.
Pardon? No. Let these people who have come, let them finish. I'm giving them 2-3 minutes. Just hold the Tibet Council, Bunyoro University briefly, and Busoga University. Then we take it. Any comment? Even if you made a comment of 2 sentences, I have no problem. I want to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chair and members. I think as the report indicated, we have done all the necessary preparations for starting Bunyoro University. We have done all the master planning and the drawings and everything approved. Now we are in the process of
construction.
Contracting the constructors.
The same.
So I think that is the stage, but the biggest challenge is that we will need substantial support in terms of funding to enable us to do good construction. Thank you.
Busoga.
Thank you, Chairperson and members. Busoga University Task Force, we have also accomplished the key requirements for establishing the universities. We have got academic programs have been developed. We have the infrastructure fully refurbished and fit for purpose. We have the necessary requirements, including the library in place, and we have the policies that are necessary to start the institution. Thank you very much.
So, Honorable Muyingo, maybe you can bring the resolution next week for Busoga University, because the committee went there and there is no National Council has accredited everything. So honorable members, let's react to where you think you need clarification. Honorable John, you had something hot on TVET. Then Honorable Galiwango will follow.
Honorable Chair, I had a few points I had written down, and I'm going to quickly go through them. But you allow me to begin with TVET Council. I want to thank the ministry. I want to thank the ministry for enabling the operation of the TVET Council. But I also want members to appreciate, and the minister to appreciate, that this is a new institution with a bigger mandate following the reform that we have gone through. Now, I just want maybe to get one clarification, a clarification from the TVET Council in reference to what we have been going through this, especially with assessment boards. The key challenges that most these assessment boards are facing is the issue related to the curriculum development, which awaits the sector skills expert committees to be put in place by the TVET Council. They cannot accredit assessment centers because, as per the law, I think it is section 125, all the institutions seem not to be existing. They have expired as per the law. They are not there, so they cannot go ahead to accredit assessment centers as of now. Then I also want to understand from the acting ED, the TVET Council, to give more clarification on the sector skill expert committees that have been put in place. So, which have been put in place, so that at least we understand that the issue of curriculum is going to be sorted, so that these institutions are able to move. And also, as a piece of advice, I'd also propose, Honorable Chair and Honorable Minister, that in case there are further delays in ensuring that the curriculum is looked into, and secondly, in case they foresee further delays in giving licenses and accreditation to those institutions and their programs, an arrangement should be put in place. Maybe these assessment boards can sit with the TVET Council and they find a way forward, because the students are going to be affected. As I talk now, the timetables for assessment, so the draft timetables are out, and more problems are going to come when the time is due. Quickly, Chair, if you allow me, I go through this. The overlaps of mandates, National Council for Higher Education, I think that one has to be explained.
John, just a moment. I'm also raising a matter of procedure, Honorable John. The matter of procedure now is TVET. Are we finished with the TVET?
I was winding up on the overlaps of mandate with TVET and the... And
the other overlapping mandate?
Yes.
I thought it was a different... Go ahead then.
Yeah.
So members TVET first and then we move.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Minister, when we were discussing the National Council for Higher Education, we realized that National Council for Higher Education is still regulating the diploma awarding institutions, which are now being regulated, which are going to be regulated by the TVET Council. And they were asking for more money to support them on their activities. Now, we were wondering, do we need to support two parallel institutions? The ministry needs to come clear on that, so that we don't go into wastage of resources. The last one still on this, there is urgent need to amend the University and Tertiary Institutions Act to align it with the TVET Act, so that issues can be avoided. Chairman, I proceed and finish quickly?
TVET.
TVET, I'm done with it.
And then you stop a bit.
Okay.
Any member raising on TVET first? We are concluding with the TVET. If not TVET, we move to something else. TVET is done. Yes, Honorable Connie.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Chair, I want to thank the Ministry for the presentation. I'm Nakayense Connie Galiwango from Bali City. I'd like to thank the Ministry for hearing our cry of the increment of the teachers. Thank you so much that the arts teachers and the primary teachers are going to have an increment. However, I would like to know how much they will also be getting, given the fact that the other one is known for the sciences. Honorable Chair, I note with concern that the loan scheme students, the numbers are getting lower and lower, given the fact that the ministry has explained that among those who apply, about 7,000, only less than 30 are to be helped. Honorable Chair, I just want to find out from the ministry. I don't know whether we are doing the, maybe if I can give an example, we are doing a lot to fund UPE and USE. Now, if these students eventually qualify to go to higher institutions of learning, and we say there is no money, yet we've helped them go upward, don't you think we are creating a problem that we may not manage? Especially we are going to rise the crime rate, that most of these will not be able to afford to go to high institutions of learning, will end up being very bad people in the communities. Given the fact that those who try to go to these institutions are the ones who have been funded very well by government, especially the ones who come from the schools that are not government, private schools. They perform better, and they are the ones who receive the scholarships, and they are from, most of them are from well-to-do families, and they are the ones who are given scholarships. The poor ones who study in youth schools,
so honourable members, I think
being. So can we find a mechanism of really increasing this, so that year in, year out, we are talking about the same thing? If the well-to-do are the ones who are sponsored, and the poor ones who have...
The question, the clarifications as precise for them to answer, otherwise here now.
Okay.
Yes.
Honourable Chair, I also note with concern that, yes, they've, at least we thank God that they have done a lot of inspection in special needs education, and I want to find out whether they have found out what is going on in Chambogo College School, which is with very many of the special needs students, up to about 70, and yet they only have 2 teachers. I don't know whether the ministry is aware, because something has to be done to Chambogo College School, that they should be staffed, other than us having those special needs students being left alone without being attended to. And then lastly, Honourable Chair, among the unfunded or underfunded priorities, we have the seed school, the schools, the grant aiding of schools in sub-counties and parishes. It still comes to another problem where we are going to have many unwanted pregnancies, many maybe early marriages, because these students don't have any school in their parishes and in their sub-counties. Can government try to expedite the process that we really get most of these? Because having 3,486 sub-counties without, parishes without primary schools, and also having more than thousands, still 900 something, without schools, it's going to cause a big problem. Can we prioritize this other than making them as unfunded or underfunded? I want to thank you, Chair.
Okay, now somebody was behind here for TVET. Me, I thought all was done. So Honourable Itingo TVET, then we moved to Honourable Shadow Minister. Today we are Shadow. The other day it wasn't, because Honourable Mingo, you know.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chair, my comment is on TVET. Chair, I'm raising this in good faith, Mr. Chairman. And the Honourable Minister, you know, we don't look for faults. We just want to see how better we can improve in our systems. Mr. Chairman, the TVET Act, and specifically I want to talk about the business institutions. Business institutions were using a curriculum that was developed by NCDC. That's what they have been using. Now, Chair, Section 118 of the TVET Act says disapplication of certain enactments. And it says, unless otherwise expressly provided for under this Act, the following enactments shall not apply to a TVET provider. And one of them is the National Curriculum Development Center Act. So, Chairman, with the TVET Act, these institutions that have been using the curriculum of the NCDC, they have nothing to use. And in May, June, the exam is going on. We don't even know under which curriculum. And then number two, to the PS, I think, and the minister, the transition period for this, for the TVET Act was not clear. Maybe you needed some guidelines on how to transit from the old to the TVET. Then finally, Mr. Chairman, in the presentation, they are talking about registration, licensing, and accreditation of TVET providers. I wonder now, if there is no curriculum developed, there are no programs, which capacity indicators are you using to inspect and license? I thought you'd look at the program and then look at the capacity of the institution. That, for example, if an institution is to offer an IT program, you should look at the computer lab and the computers and the human resource to manage the program. So if the curriculum is not yet developed, how are you inspecting?
So that one now takes us to our 90 billion. So, Madam PS, you rather release that money to the council and they move at actually rocket speed, because, and in a way, we would request that you give guidance when the old one ends and when the new one starts. That transition, because the students are in between. So it's better these other TVET institutions are given that circular for them to know we're using the old one until a given period. It is proper. Yes, Honorable Itungo. So we shall move from Honorable Itungo, Honorable Timuziku, Honorable... We have moved from Honorable Itungo and then the Honorable Minister in the shadow to Honorable Timuziku, Buweju.
Chairman, I want to thank the Minister and the Minister for giving us all this information. Actually, we are going to use these documents throughout the 5 years and this year's budget, because you have given us information. However, I'm starting with the overview of budget performance. You talk about a presidential pledge of teacher circle, Walim circle, 7.89 billion. We want to get how this circle teachers are benefiting. Which teachers, are they from particular region? Because I've not heard about this in Kalungu, and I want to know that. Then,
they may be from
the National Library, Mr. Chairman, can we know where it is located? And what are the benefits of the citizens with this library, if I want to access it? Can we go to page 2 of the Minister policy statement to what? The one which which we have centered on, because I have so many issues I want to rush, Mr. Chairman. The issue concerning consultative meeting on national school feeding policy. Honorable Minister, UPE started in 1996, and one of the major setbacks was children not feeding. How can we, up to now, be still having consultative meetings for a feeding policy? We have all entered here and we are all visiting that table with the sumbusa, cassava, chapati, yet we ate at home in the morning. I first had a drink at home, but the 4 hours I've been here, I'm already eating. Now, children in UPE schools, they are not feeding because the ministry has taken over 20 years. without giving a feeding policy. Honourable Minister, this is not fair. When you talk about feeding at school, even the staff members at that school will eat some of the food that is prepared for children, and they can go on. As we who are teaching in UPE schools, we know what happens. I was at Shimoni, and the children's lunch was an advantage of the teachers as well. That's factual. And it is keeping away a number of children from school because there is no feeding and you have not developed a policy on feeding. Let us take a random sample of Karamoja region. When we went to Karamoja, children refused to come to school. They first they look around to see whether there is smoke at the school. Once they see smoke, they say there is food today. They go to school. The following day, they peep from home. They don't see any smoke near the school. No eating. They don't go to school. Mr. Chairman, the feeding policy should be worked on very fast, but we can't allow that. But can I go to page 8?
Honourable Minister, Shadow, you'll be referring to the document, eh?
You see, this is the document.
The major one, yeah.
I have so many documents they give us.
I understand.
This one is the one I'm using.
Yes, page 2
page
of the...
8. We can leave that, but page 9. Okay, that one we can leave. Let us go. Mr. Chairman, I want to request the Honourable Minister and the team to visit page 19.
So, honourable members, I'm just making an announcement that when it clocks 1, we shall break for lunch and then come back. Go ahead.
Salary enhancement, I am on page 20, sir. Mr. Chairman, vote 12, cover the university expansion of the medical school, 5 billion. These new universities, Mr. Minister, we are not giving them very good money. I don't know how we can help. When they appeared before here, they are always crying for pledges that have been given and the money they want. Then, local government salary enhancement for primary teachers and secondary. As my neighbor stated, sincerely, we need to know. I'm happy you have given us money this time. We should even clap for you.
Oh, we should clap for them.
But sincerely, we have also nagged you so much.
But let him give us just a sample.
A breakdown. You say that a teacher in a UPE school is good if it is.
No, let him start from the other side, from secondary. And that teacher, how much is he going to get out of that figure? Break for us down briefly.
Yeah, and I want to put this on record. Mr. Chairman, Honourable Minister, we are paying money in USE schools, and we are paying a lot of money. I am paying money in USE schools, senior 1, we start with over 200,000 per term. So are we having USE or we are paying? Senior 4 is mandatory, they must be in boarding. We are paying over 500 per term. All USE schools and UPE schools. So you talk about the increment, give us that one. Can I know, Mr. Chairman, we rationalize the HESFEM for betterment, and the number of students being recruited is going low. 2,500 students. I am educating over 200 children in my constituency. Then I'm better than you. If you are taking HESFEM for the whole of Uganda, and it is only 2,500, these members of parliament here, if they tell you how many students they are sponsoring in all these schools, you will end up having 2,500 you are talking about. And if you take the whole parliament of Uganda, then there are over 20,000 children being sponsored by members of parliament. That was not the way to go. So what went wrong? The answer was we are rationalizing this institution so that we save money by the expenditure has been going on them by taking many staff from them, that money will go back to cater for those students who need the support. And the issue of only catering for only scientists, you leave out art teachers, there are no lawyers going for the same, is not proper. Mr. Chairman, instructional materials on page 21, this is the 4. This increment is account of additional provision of instructional materials for primary and secondary education, 25 billion. We need to get evidence of this. Which instructional materials are given to schools? We are going to get, we want a table and documents indicating that. I go to my schools and find out whether there are instructional materials in those schools. If they are textbooks, elaborate them. If they are blackboard rulers, elaborate them. If they are, because we have been in these schools, we know what is happening. Now, which schools? Fulfillment of presidential pledge for expansion of traditional schools, 10 billion. Schools are not mentioned. Because for us, I am seeing on the schools here, you are talking about Nabisunsa. How do you give Nabisunsa money, which is charging over 3 million per child, and you are leaving a school like Kako SS, or a school in Boroboro, a school in Karamoja, which is a traditional school, but it doesn't have money. It is maybe charging like 400.
Honorable Shadow Minister, how many minutes can I give you?
Mr. Honorable Chair, I don't know, because
yes, but
but as long as I'm talking substance,
no, what I'm saying,
fast.
When the let's
can you give me
just a moment,
like 5 minutes, 6 minutes?
No, let's be for clarification, for purposes of them also comprehending. Let them be brief, the comment. But now
I am seeing the minister writing, and I was just
what I'm saying is that you're asking questions and giving answers.
Chairman,
so
my problem.
So 3 minutes, sir.
I am still insisting. They will attack me, and I have no child who's going to go to those schools, but they are traditional schools which are making money. They are charging fees. When you start with them, at the cost of those Sir Samuel Baker, I am not from West Nile, but I'm saying, let us look at those traditional schools, which are crippling. They have no funds. They last got a Tata Rory.
1985.
85. And now, these ones, they are having over 3 buses. More than Isuzu. Even they have where to charge phones on the buses. And you are giving them more money.
I think there you need to rethink.
You will go report me to the Archbishop. I am against giving Namagunga money. I'm against giving, and I am open on these live coverages. But I am for a school in Uwejo, a traditional school, which is crippling, and it is almost being condemned. But the teachers, they are suffering. Let me, then, I'm going to raise, because you have given this time, I will come in. The issue of Nambole, which has got over 90 billion, it is getting more money now, and the works there, you get what Honorable Magogo stated on the floor of Parliament, the money that first went to Nambole, you go and look for that value, and the hotel itself, the hotel was not worked on. Now you are sending in another 120. Why don't you sit, Honorable Minister? Look at the particular stadiums that will be required for AFCON. Give them maximum attention, because not all of them will be used. They're not all of them. But there are those particular ones which you can pump in money, but look at the wasteful expenditure that is taking place in those areas. I cannot imagine, Mr. Chairman, that they used over 100 billion, and the flow, the compound, the outside environment of Nambo remained the same with the old, with the old, I don't know how they call it in English. It is the way they make these roads. No pavers. There was no paver. It is the old style of making compound. What? Nothing. There is no valve.
This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come.
Wherever you are, whatever your reason, it's on SuperSport all season long. Get and stay connected to DSTV Compact and GoTV Super Plus with Kawiki available on DSTV and GoTV.
This May 2nd, get ready for the ultimate meat experience. Masheda Meat Festival is back at Masheda Palms Resort. Bigger, tastier, and louder than ever. Enjoy mouth-watering grills by Chef Pablo, chilled vibes and non-stop entertainment by Elijah Chitaka and the best DJs in town. Grab your tickets now that covers the meets. Early bird at 150k, advanced 200k and 250k at the gate. Tables for 4 with accommodation at 2 million. Couple room packages at 700k and camping options at just 300k. Don't miss the vibe of the year. May 2nd, Masheda Meat Fest. Taste the fire.
Because you have no lesson plan in the class, they say that teachers run away because the inspector is coming. But now, teachers are, if you read the government inspector by Nikolai Vigogo, you learn what is called the government inspector and inspection in schools. Schools, you know that even if I don't come, which inspector will come? The teachers have no tendency, they have no arrival book, they have no departure, everything. Honorable Minister, kindly, I'm speaking because I'm shadowing you. I know when I say that you feel happy. But can you work on that?
The other day we were feeling happy because he was not here.
The visitors' books are taken, the education officers, and you see what is happening. What are the minimum standards the school must have? How does a person enter school without signing at the gate? All those things are under inspection. That's what you go to look for in the school. I have so many issues, Mr. Chairman, but I can't make myself the man of the day. You will allow me, if chances are given, to add on my other areas.
Okay.
But I am requesting, Honourable Minister, kindly take these things in good spirit. We have got money, because you have shown us some positives. But there are issues of unfunded projects where I will come in, if the chair allows me. But let me end there, and kindly, that's enough for now. Thank you.
So what we can now do, Honorable Timuziku, let's allow Honorable Mwijuche first, because he's a shadow, but he's a visitor, and visitors, you treat them well. He's a visitor in the committee.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I am happy the Shadow Minister has touched almost all the issues. But I wanted to generally, again, ask for clarifications on the following as a matter of emphasis. I have heard the President or even the RDCs talk about arresting of head teachers who ask parents to pay money. Now, when I look at capitation grant, a year is 270,000 per annum per year for A level. Yes. And for O level, it is 165,000 per annum per year. Now, with this money, do you really think if parents don't contribute, these children or these learners will be learning? And if you think they are not learning, other than politics, why would somebody incite parents against contributing towards the education of their children? I have heard that in the past through RDCs, the President was using it during campaigns. Incidentally, those who advanced this view their children never go through such schools. Because maybe if they did, they would be speaking differently. 2, I come from a hard-to-reach area, and the Honorable Minister has been to Buheju at some stage we had the same function with him. It's not only hard to reach, it's also hard to stay.
And actually, when you go to Buheju, that's where the road ends. So
Honorable Chair, the issue of hard to reach allowances. But also in recruitment, some teachers use such areas to just access a payroll. And once they get to a payroll, they ask for transfers. The solution would be maybe recruiting teachers who are born there because they can maneuver. But it's also difficult for them to get recruited because it is centrally done, and getting to a payroll is very difficult. I have visited the office of the PS before, and I know what she goes through, and I'll be visiting again. But I really don't know what the solution can be, because people get to a payroll and they maneuver and then are transferred, and the problem remains. So the issue of hard to reach, and then finally, Hono Seung has talked about it, but just to emphasize, and it's on page 15, provide clarification on how salaries for primary teachers, secondary school teachers, TVET, will be enhanced. And the question was how. And what has been provided is the numbers, how many will be enhanced. Now, when I move out of here, my teacher in Buheju will want to know, how much am I going to be given? What is the increment? They are not interested in the numbers. They are interested in the how much, how much, how much. So this how was not limited to the numbers, but I am sure the members of parliament, most of us wanted to know if the science teachers are getting 4 million, what is the increment? And of course, you have heard of the proposed taxes. If you give me 25% and I was receiving 500,000, and the tax is also 25%.
Mijuche, you are now presenting a paper.
It's okay. The clarification is just about that. I'm sorry, because it's okay.
So he wants, just try, give us a template of what is the magnitude of the increment. Are you adding on anything, Honorable Mijuche, or that is all?
For now.
Okay. Honorable Timuzigu.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. And allow me, let me start by introducing myself. Timuzigu Michael Kamcha, Member of Parliament for Kajara County. And Honorable Chair, allow me to thank the Minister of Education for the presentation, which is detailed with several annexes. And go ahead, before I present my simple issue, supplement the issue of inspectors. School inspectors, we have a challenge. Instead of now inspectors of schools going to the schools to inspect, head teachers come with visitors' books with an envelope to their offices. Then the inspector signs as if he has inspected the school. And then the head teacher goes back to the school. That's what we are doing now in Uganda. And we cannot hide that. If we keep quiet, it is actually dangerous, and it will become more dangerous. Honorable Minister, that is what is happening in rural areas. I don't know in urban centers, but that is what is happening there. The issue of concern here with me is the issue of scholarships. We are happy that we are supporting students to study abroad. In this coming year, we are going to support 300 students. You are well aware that research indicates that foreign education and foreign exposure increases employability, meaning that those 300 who are going abroad to study will be more employable than the rest who remain here. And research indicates that. But that niche is still very difficult to understand. Who are those people who get scholarships, and how do they get scholarships? If a member of parliament on the education committee does not know very well the criteria of getting such a scholarship, and how we get information concerning those scholarships, who else knows how people get those scholarships? Secondly, we are seeing that we are going to support them in Asia, North Africa, and in only one country in Europe. Which criteria do we use to deal with those countries? Are they the ones having the best education? And secondly, why are we zeroing down on Asia and North Africa? Are they giving us free offers? And if they are not giving us free offers, why are we not looking at Europe, North America, and other destinations? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, briefly, Honorable Municipality of... Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I want to thank the Minister and the PS for the team. Thanks for the presentation. And to thank the Ministry for 3 city secondary schools in Kotido. I think that one you deserve a hand clap.
And Honorable Okwanga is not clapping.
I just
have not clapped.
I want to highlight, I don't know whether the Commissioner for Secondary Education is here. We are having a challenge, Minister, with Kotido Senior Secondary School. Board of Governors of School.
UGFM. Today in the studio we have
Peter Aking Mama. For over 10 years, I've lived between stages and silence. On the 29th of May, I'm not just sharing my music, I'm sharing my soul. This night is about women that lead with grace, build with vision, and create boldly, together with incredible artists. Powered by Fenon Events, we're going to give you a world-class event. Tickets go for 150,000 Ugandan shillings, 3M and 5M VIP tables. This is our moment. This is the power within.
I'm called Navgosire Caroline. I'm a parish chief. I was impressed with that training. Actually, we learned a lot on the introduction. They taught us about the different disabilities we have and how we go about with them. Then after, they took us to the computer. Then they told us how to fix the charger, how you connect those other wires, the charger, the what to the computer. Then they taught us how to write a word. We proceeded. They taught us on internet how to use the internet differently. Like, for example, if you're going to type a letter, like, for example, making an application, where do you go? Then they took us, like, for example, to URI. If you're applying for a thing, what do you do? They went ahead and taught us the different tricks other people use, like these thugs around, what they use to con people through using the phones. We should be careful using the phones. When it's like this, we should do like this, that kind of thing.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say,
Hey, by the way.